Hello students, you are welcome in the fifth lecture, that is lecture number 5 of a chapter of electrochemistry. In the last lecture, we have seen variation of molar conductivity with concentration in case of strong electrolyte as well as in case of the weak electrolyte. There we have seen that in the strong electrolytes, zero concentration or infinity dilution can be reached very easily. If we dilute the solution up to 0.001 molar to 0.0001 molar in case of strong electrolyte, its 100% dissociation take place. And whatever the possible ions are there in the electrolyte, they are obtained. What is the possible number of ions present? That is Avogadro's number, 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 number of ions are obtained in case of strong electrolyte whenever the solution of that electrolyte is made with a concentration of 0.001 molar to 0.0001 molar. But in case of weak electrolyte, if we dilute the solution so that concentration become 0.001 molar to 0.0001 molar, it is not possible to obtain the maximum number of ions, because weak electrolyte is not dissociated to 100% extent at that concentration. Therefore, to obtain zero concentration or to obtain infinity dilution in case of weak electrolytes, it requires the solution to be diluted to very large volume, maybe 1 lakh liter, 10 lakh liter, like that, and to increase the volume of that solution to such a huge quantity is not practically possible. That is not physically possible. That is not practically feasible. Therefore, scientist Koros has performed series of experiments and he has given one equation. That equation we have studied, it is capital lambda will be equal to capital lambda 0 minus a square root of c. This is the equation of straight line with a negative slope such that whenever capital lambda is plotted as a function of square root of concentration, we have seen that in case of strong electrolyte, such a type of graph, straight line graph, is obtained in case of strong electrolyte. If this is extrapolated to zero concentration, we will get the value of lambda 0. And this is known as molar conductivity at infinite dilution of strong electrolyte, because such a type of graph is obtained for the strong electrolyte. But if we take the example of weak electrolyte, instead of such a type of straight line graph, we will get the curved line. Second type of curved line is obtained in case of weak electrolyte. So whenever this line is extrapolated, it will not touching the y-axis, and to obtain capital lambda 0 of weak electrolyte, practically it is not possible. Practically, to obtain the value of capital lambda 0, that is molar conductivity of weak electrolyte, from this graph is rather impossible. It is not possible. Therefore, scientist Koros again has performed many experiments and he has suggested one law. He has given one rule. He has suggested one theory. He has given one theory. He has given the law, and that law is known as Coriolis law of independent movement of ions. What is that law? It is the Coriolis law. The law is known as Coriolis law of independent migration of ion or independent movement of ion. Independent migration or movement of ions. See, this law is basically applicable for the weak electrolytes, because just now we have seen to obtain capital lambda 0 of strong electrolyte, that graph is applicable. Graph is applicable. But to obtain that value of capital lambda 0 for weak electrolyte, graph is not applicable. That is not applicable. Hence, in order to find out the molar conductivity of weak electrolyte, Coriolis has suggested the theory. He has suggested the law, and that law is known as Coriolis law of independent migration of ions. Now see this law. What is this law? This law is stated as at an infinite dilution, at an infinite concentration, zero concentration, the ions will move independent of each other, and they will contribute their own value towards total molar conductivity of electrolyte, irrespective of the ion with which it is associated. Now see the meaning. What is this law? The law is stated that at infinite dilution, the ions of electrolyte move independent of each other, and they will contribute their own value towards total molar conductivity of the electrolyte, independent of or irrespective of the ion with which it is coupled or associated. That is the statement. Now see the meaning. Why or how ions will move independent of each other. Now see this over here in detail. Suppose we have the example of acetic acid. We have acetic acid, formula CH3COOH. This is weak electrolyte added to water. Added to the water. We have taken 1 liter of water. 1 mole of acetic acid added to 1 liter water. So what is the concentration of solution? 1 divided by 1, that is 1 mole per liter. 1 mole per liter. What is the 1 mole? How many grams? 60 grams. Because acetic acid has a molar mass of 60. See, acetic acid, CH3COOH. How many carbon atoms? 2 carbon atom. 12 into 2, that is equal to 24. How many oxygen? 2 oxygen. So 16 into 2, it is equal to 32. How many hydrogen? 4. 4 hydrogen atoms. 4 means it is 1 into 4 equal to 4. On adding this, it comes equal to 60. Therefore, if we take 60 gram of acetic acid, that is nothing but 1 molar acetic acid. If that is added to 1 liter of the water, we will get a solution of 1 molarity. Molarity or concentration of this solution is nothing but 1 molar. Over here, acetic acid, since it is dissolved, it is weak electrolyte, undergo partial dissociation, reversible dissociation, producing acetate ions and H plus ions. But less number of these ions are obtained. It is not 100% dissociated. This is weak electrolyte. Therefore, it is not undergoing 100% dissociation. Less degree of dissociation is there. Only a less degree of dissociation is there. 1 molar means how many total acetate ions it will give? It will give total acetate ions 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. How many H plus ions it will give totally? It will give total H plus ion is equal to 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. Both number of ions are equal. Total number of ions obtained from 1 molar acetic acid is this one, but it is undergoing incomplete dissociation. Therefore, this much number of ions are not obtained in 1 liter. 1 liter. Now, if that solution is diluted to 1000 liters, see what happen. Take the same quantity of acetic acid 1 molar, that is 60 gram, and now it is added to 1000 liter. Instead of 1 liter, what is the quantity I have taken? 1000 liter of water. Now as compared with 1 liter, whenever it is added to 1000 liter, number of ions obtained is more, because degree of dissociation increases with increase in volume. Therefore, number of ions obtained is more in the 1000 liter. Now, if this is diluted to 1 lakh liter, if it is diluted to 1 lakh liter, same quantity of acetic acid 1 molar, that is 60 gram, but now taken in the 1 lakh liter of water. Now what will happen? Here, whatever the molecules of acetic acid are present, they are completely dissociated. They are forming total number of ions. What is the total number of ions expected? That is this one, 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. This much ions are not obtained here because it is not completely dissociated. They are not obtained here because here also not completely dissociated, but obtained here completely dissociated, and maximum number of ions are obtained. Now see the important point. In this case, whatever the ions are obtained, they are close to each other. Positive and negative ions are close to each other. If you see this case, positive and negative ions are away from each other. And if you see this case, here positive and negative ions are far away from each other. Here they are far away from each other, such that they will move independent of each other. See here, positive and negative ion close to each other. They will move along with each other. Positive move with negative, or negative is moving with the positive. Here also slightly they are depending on each other. But in this case, since they are very far away from each other, they are on a long distance from each other. Therefore, now positive and negative ion will not move depending on each other. They are moving independent of each other, and that is the law. Corot's law has stated that at infinite dilution, This is the infinite dilution. Very large quantity of solvent is added. This is infinite dilution. At infinite dilution, ions will move independent of each other because they are away from each other. They will move independent of each other and they will give their own contribution towards total molar conductivity of electrolyte, independent of the ion with which it is coupled. Means positive ion is moving independent of negative ion and negative ion is moving independent of positive ion. That is the Corot's law at infinite dilution. Corot's law of independent migration of ions at infinite dilution. So that is the law. How and why ions will move independent of each other. Now, what is the application? This law is applicable to find the molar conductivity of electrolyte whenever the conductance of ions is known. Whenever the conductance of independent ions is known, we can calculate the molar conductivity of electrolyte. Here there is one problem. I am giving you the solution of one problem. If we know the conductance of ions, molar conductivities of the ions, we can calculate the total molar conductivity of an electrolyte. That type of one problem is there. We can solve it over here. For example, if we will be given the molar conductivity of calcium ions and Cl minus ions, Ca2 plus ion has a molar conductivity 104 and Cl minus ions will have a molar conductivity of 76.4. And the problem is calculate the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of CaCl2. What is the question? Calculate the molar conductivity of calcium chloride. If the molar conductivity of calcium ions is 104 and that of the chloride ion is 76.4. I will tell you the unit afterwards. What is the unit of these molar conductivities? Calculate for CaCl2. Ca and Cl is there. So molar conductivity of at zero concentration of CaCl2 will be equal to molar conductivity of Ca2 plus. How many Ca2 plus is there? Only one. Plus, how many Cl minus ions are there? 2. So 2 multiplied by molar conductivity of Cl minus ions. Substitute the values. Ca2 plus has a value of 104 plus 2 into Cl minus has a value of 76.4. So solving this 104 plus 2 into this figure 8, 2 6 are 12, 1 is carried, 2 7 are 14 plus 1 15, 152 and 104, that is 156.8. That is the molar conductivity of calcium chloride at infinite dilution. So here what we have done? We know the molar conductivity of ion Ca plus 2 and Cl minus. So we can calculate the molar conductivity of CaCl2. That is the use. That is the application of Corot's law of independent migration of the ions. See, what is the unit? What is unit of molar conductivity? We have seen this. Molar conductivity will be equal to 1000 K upon C, or that is nothing but K upon C in order to find out the unit. So lambda is equal to, what is unit of K? We have seen unit of K is per ohm per centimeter divided by concentration mole per centimeter cube. Mole per centimeter cube. If centimeter cube taken on numerator side, it becomes per ohm centimeter raised to -1 centimeter raised to +3 divided by mole means per mole. So this will become equal to per ohm centimeter square per mole. This is the unit for this value, per ohm centimeter square per mole, or in SI scale we may write the unit like per ohm meter square per mole, per ohm meter square per mole. So either of the one unit can be used depending on the dimensions which are given in the problem. So this is the first application of Corot's law. If we know the molar conductivities of ions, we can find out the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of any electrolyte. That is the first application. Now one more application is there, second application. See what is the second application. Here if we know the molar conductivity of strong electrolyte, we can calculate the molar conductivity of weak electrolyte. See, for example, molar conductivity of HCl will be equal to X. Molar conductivity of CH3COONA, that is equal to Y. And molar conductivity at infinite dilution of NaCl will be equal to Z. These are given. What is the unit? They are having the unit per ohm centimeter square per mole, and asked to calculate the molar conductivity of acetic acid. So what is given here? Molar conductivity of 3 strong electrolyte is given. This is strong electrolyte, this is strong electrolyte, this is also strong electrolyte. So molar conductivity of 3 strong electrolyte is given, and we are asked to calculate the molar conductivity of this electrolyte. So from these 3 values we can calculate the molar conductivity of weak electrolyte. See how to calculate it. Capital lambda 0 of HCl will be equal to, it is equal to lambda of H plus lambda of Cl minus. Then lambda 0 of CH3COONA will be equal to lambda of CH3COO minus plus lambda of Na plus, and lambda 0 of NaCl will be equal to lambda of Na plus lambda of Cl minus. So these are the equations for molar conductivities of strong electrolytes. Now if we add the molar conductivities of these 3 together, if we modify the equations, we must get the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of this weak acetic acid. So for that purpose, what is the change we have to do, that is important. In acetic acid we have CH3COO minus and H plus. So these 2 must be added, and Cl minus Na plus, Cl minus Na plus must be neglected. So for that purpose suppose if this is equation 1, this is equation 2, this is equation 3, we can add equation 1 and 2 and subtract equation 3. So here equation 1 plus equation 2 minus equation 3. See what happened? 1 plus 2 minus 3. So what it become? Lambda of H plus lambda of Cl minus plus lambda of CH3COO minus plus lambda of Na plus. Now minus equation 3. Equation 3, lambda of Na plus minus lambda of Cl minus. Cancel the common terms. Cl minus Na plus cancelled. So what is remaining? Lambda H plus lambda CH3COO minus. That is nothing but equal to lambda 0 of CH3COOH. So in that manner, we are getting the molar conductivity at 0 concentration of acetic acid. And what we have done? 1 plus 2 minus 3 means lambda 0 of CH3COOH will be equal to X plus Y minus Z. So that answer we can calculate. If this is 100, this is 200, and this is suppose 50. What is the answer? 100 plus 200, that is 300 minus 50. Answer will be 250. In that manner, we can easily calculate the molar conductivity of weak electrolyte if we know the molar conductivity of these 3 strong electrolytes. So with that, we have completed the Koros law in all aspects along with the problems also. The next point, molar conductivity and degree of dissociation, we will see in the next lecture.